Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course...
Hear ye. Let the record show that this viewer was here first.
Good morning, mini Motorways. We are off to Busan, where all the destinations will be much busier than usual. And we start with 4 roundabouts. So that's lovely. We also, unfortunately, start with having to use a bridge, and there's a business on this tiny little island that we otherwise might have paved, but, you know, still. Having everything be, super busy is going to be good for the score counting, if we can keep up with it. That'll be something. Oh, goodness. It is Monday morning. I worked an all-day job on Saturday, so I functionally had a one-day weekend. It's not great. Money is a good and important thing in this world, but it's the things we do for it sometimes. Anyway, let's see here. We've got this little double plaza over here forming a difficulty. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run this little blue road around, under, down, and up back here, so that these 1, 2, 3 dark blue houses can swing in this way, and this lovely little tree doesn't have to get destroyed. I totally thought I was going to have to destroy that tree. Turns out, nope. Oh, goodness. Okay, and now you're a circle, so that's just fine. We'll take a couple bridges, because Lord knows we're going to need bridges, apparently. 2 houses, 2 businesses, and we've already used 2 bridges. Yeah, I think we're going to need bridges today. This lovely little dark blue house can come in from the west side, so long as there's a double plaza here. We might need to revisit that possibility once there's another business in the east side, but, that's a problem for future me, okay? Now, unfortunately, that tree did need to be destroyed, so... I suppose nothing needed to be destroyed there, but it was the correct and efficient thing to do, so, listen. We care about preserving nature here, but we also care about, efficient road system building. And, well, that wasn't very efficient, now was it? Alright, let's see here. This dark blue business here exists. We can just swing ourselves up that-a-way and support it without the use of another bridge. Given, however, that every business is going to be much busier than usual, I wonder, well, first of all, I wonder how well this whole thing's looking. Is that going to be any better, I wonder? Maybe. It's going to look better. Definitely looks better. Is it actually better? Who's to say? Answer, probably not. Give me 2 more bridges. Thank you. Alright, now, as I was saying, yeah, this business here, you can already tell that it's a problem. This, even though this is a very short road, because there's, extra traffic coming in, we just can't do one house, one business. So, it's not a thing that we can actually do today, which means we're going to have to get creative. Okay. And now there's another yellow over here, which necessitates further creativity. Okay. It's actually probably fine. Let's put these 2 over here. We'll see if maybe 2 yellows is enough yellows to make you happy. If it is, great. If it's not, we'll deal with it, is about where I'm going with this. So you 3 go up that way. You know what? Here, let's not even introduce the possibility. We'll have 5 yellows go over here, and these 3 go in here. We also have plenty of yellows coming in here to the west, which is... it's a little nervous-making. This thing may be inclined to go circular, which I would kind of be okay with. Would make everything around it a little bit weird, but, it should be fine. I would be remiss if I did not mention that this past Saturday was AEW's All Out pay-per-view, which, oh boy, oh buddy, oh, there were some things and developments and matches and occurrences at All Out. Oh, I saw the point made on Twitter, and this is not an original thought that I have had or anything. Let's see here. These pinks can run like so, and we'll get the two of them to support that business. I saw the point made on Twitter. All In is a show for people who think AEW should be like WWE and have a WrestleMania. Because that's basically what All In is, has been, and was. Particularly now that they're doing, now that they're doing the show at Wembley Stadium. Before this, the last All In was just the first big indie show that became the spiritual predecessor to AEW. This yellow over here is a bit of a clusterfuck, so we're just going to draw Motorway number 1 and support it like that. We're also going to restructure these pinks. So you're going to come down this way. I'm going to let this bridge go away and then redraw it. And that should be fine, hopefully. I don't think this big business is going to get too far in trouble here. We'll swing you like so. The two of you go support that. Should be fine. Okay. Also, I can slip a 5th yellow up over into here. And actually, if I can slip a 5th yellow in there, let's just shorten both of these roads. Because now there's 5 and 5. I had been thinking we would do something else, but no. Alright. Give me 2 more bridges because I keep using them. This business over here exists now, and we need to support that. I think I'm going to pull this blue over to here, support this circle, because these 2 blues are going to come up this way and be my support system for this business. It was basically either pull blues from here up around like so, or pull blues from here up and in like that. And I chose the latter. Was that the correct choice? It remains to be seen. Early returns are negative, actually. Early returns are not good for the whole. Well, we'll see. It might be fine. Speaking of things that might be fine, this thingy over here is... It's an accurate description of my feelings toward this green business. Let's see here. So, if I were the king of the forest, I could bring this up over here, create a little bypass lane right here, yeah? So we create this little bypass lane, it runs into here, we toss greens out this way, we will use our very first roundabout. Where do I want that roundabout to be centered, actually? Let's center... Well... No, this is suboptimal. We can't have it right here. Okay. We can do that. This is awkward and gross. I'm out of road. Oh, I didn't anticipate being out of road. Okay. Well, we run green into there. We bop you that away. Now I have 3 road tiles, and I need more than that. Hey, Blueskis, can I borrow your road faces real quick? Thank you. So I pulled these 3 blues off of here. This roundabout is not great, is it? Could just be a functional problem of a very long road and some catching up that needs doing, but we'll see. This dark blue business was already a little bit screwed on account of only having 2 houses and a fairly long road, and now it's just, further fucked. Oh, hi. Oh, friend, you're not... Oh. Okay. Yikes. This is a problem. This is a significant problem. Let's think about how we want to handle that. I think the thing to do is to grab these 2 greens over here redraw motorway number 1. Motorway number 1 will slide in and service this double plaza from, let's say, the north. Let's say the north. The north. Okay. So that slides in from the north. You go down that away, and then up in over like so. So the two of you go in, support that from there. That works. Next, we need more pinks for this pink business, and additionally, we need to sort out this problem here. Okay. Well, hell. Can I sneak a roundabout in here at all? I can do that, which isn't terribly helpful to me, I don't think. Given that I would need... Shit. Okay. Can do a southern roundabout there, actually. And you know, that might be what's needed. Okay. So you're gonna go completely around that. You, and you. All of these yellows and blues and such are gonna go... It doesn't make sense. Because I ultimately want a road here swings down there. So actually, this northern spur is the exit way of the roundabout. But then that means, fuck. Okay, so this roundabout is poorly placed. What about... So I'm trying to finagle a way such that the yellows and blues can come together here and then be sent in various directions. And I don't know if that's actually going to be able to happen. Okay. So if the blues do what the blues have been doing, it's infeasible. It's not happening. I need this northeast spur to be for the yellows. This this southwest spur doesn't exist. This southern spur exists. I can pull this out here, and we say boom, boom, boom. But these, oh, fuck me. Oh, this is so badly placed. Okay. You're a very helpful pink thing, actually. I like that you exist a lot. I think I like that you exist an awful lot. I still don't know exactly what, if anything, is the best thing to do with this situation. There are pink cars here that aren't moving. I think I've broken something. I think I may have seriously damaged the video game, which would be new and impressive, but also terrifying and bad. Alright, new plan. What if the yellows and blues both come out here and they just, like, share? You just share into here. So game, can't help but notice that these these pinks here are not moving. If I redraw their road, are you happier now? Can y'all get back to your house? Game, I'm seeing this, right? Okay. You know what I think happened is these pinks had been swinging up this way and going into that business, and then now there's a roundabout present, and the presence of the roundabout is just over fucking, like, everything, and the pinks are really not, happy with it, is the situation. So I don't know how to solve that, to be clear. I think it might just mean that those pinks are doom fucked, which would be bad, but nifty little side effect, by the way, is because I can't steal this bridge back, I don't have enough bridges to get these pinks over to here. So I guess we'll do this. Yeah, we'll just do this. All of those can... Hey, you know what? Here, let's get creative. Sounds like a bad idea. We're going to slap another roundabout right here. We slap another roundabout right there. We dedicate those spurs as such in here. So now all of these pinks and greens are going into this roundabout, right? What if, actually, hold on. I might be able to technically continue supporting our pink friend by doing that. And then you go off there. And then you go off there. Okay. So in a very technical sense of the matter now, here. Maybe I've got another thought on how I can fix this situation. There, I've drawn road underneath your feet. You're fine, right? You're okay now? Pinks? Pinks, can you be okay now? Pinks? Good morning, Leah Fireheart. I think I broke mini Motorways. Which, I mean, listen, this was a doomed proposition of a business path to begin with, but, okay, yeah, these pink cars just don't want to move, actually, which is bad. I don't know, they just don't want to move. I had road, and then they were on the road, and then I decided to rebuild, and then I don't know why these left their houses and stopped, so, yeah. Asked 575 commuters over 41 days, which is not a good score. It's not great. I have 3 roundabouts because the game gave me 4 to begin with. So, listen, it's the video game's fault. Everything you see is the problem of the video game. It's me. I'm Jack Antonoff. No? Okay. All right. Well, I did bad. Samurai Sam did better, I bet. Bottom 35% in the world. Sam was like 2,000. Okay. All right. Well, it'll be fine. Probably. Hopefully. Maybe. Let's bring in our very good friend, the Wordle. Hello, the Wordle. Whoosh. And so, yeah, about AEW. So, for people who think All In should be WrestleMania, which is basically what All In was, it was a good mid-2010s WrestleMania, and they got All In. All In was for those people. All Out was for the hardcore sickos. All Out was for the kind of people who will pay $50 to see an AEW pay-per-view 2 weeks after they paid $50 to see an AEW pay-per-view. It should be noted, All Out was for the people who will pay $50 to see an AEW pay-per-view that doesn't really have a tremendously built card. Like, the build for All Out, and this is, like, necessary because, after all, All In was a thing. The build for All Out the past 2 years has been necessarily brief. But this past Wednesday, Hangman Adam Page burned down Swerve Strickland's childhood home, which is a thing you can do if you want to inject some anger and passion into an already bloody and violent rivalry. And, well, this past Saturday at All Out, first of all, it is fucking great that this was on a Saturday. Tony, I understand that your stated preference is to run shows on Sundays unless the NFL is happening. Just do every show on Saturday. Sunflare Space, I did not exaggerate. I think there's a little bit of wrestling kayfabe here, in that it probably wasn't literally actually his childhood home and was more likely just a cheap house AEW bought. But I am in no way exaggerating when I say that last Wednesday on Dynamite, Hangman Adam Page, who is a professional wrestler, invaded and burned to the ground what is in storyline the childhood home of professional wrestler Swerve Strickland, who is a longtime rival of Mr. Page, both former All Elite Wrestling World Champions. They have been engaged in what one might consider a bitter rivalry for some time. Mr. Page has been frustrated by what he views as the unearned professional success of Mr. Strickland, given that during the times when their rivalry was initially heated, Mr. Strickland invaded Mr. Page's personal home and menaced his wife and infant child. Mr. Page was then suspended from All Elite Wrestling for unrelated reasons, during which time Mr. Strickland became the All Elite Wrestling World Champion. This enraged Mr. Page, and upon his return to the promotion, Mr. Page made it his stated goal to, and I quote, burn his world to the ground, end quote. Mr. Page became involved in many of Mr. Strickland's matches, including the main event of All In. And then, after Mr. Strickland was posted on AEW's social media pages having repurchased his childhood home as a symbol of his success and as a bit of a present to himself upon his contract extension with All Elite Wrestling, Mr. Page went to said home with a can of gasoline. And it was a fucking brilliant angle. So Swerve's in the ring getting ready for some stupid contract signing to make official the match they were already going to have. They were already going to have another match at All Out, okay? It's not like Hangman was goading Swerve into doing this. He just wanted to do it. So Swerve's in the ring, and then there's a video that comes up on the big screen, and it's Hangman shooting a selfie video. Like, the story is that Hangman told some photographer friends of his that he was going, but he did not bring a camera crew. He brought a selfie stick. So he's walking through this house, and he's, it's a mirror of what Swerve did, where he's like, ooh, I'm in your house, Swerve. That means I'm in your head. Fuck you. But no, actually, Hangman is very, 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 very angry. And he insults the house, and he insults Swerve, and he insults Swerve's family. And then you realize, as Hangman, dips down the camera to duck out a door or something, oh, Hangman is carrying a gas can. So this whole time he's been doing this walk and talk through Swerve's house, he's also been pouring gasoline behind him. And he walks down, the porch and the ramp and the driveway and all of that. And it turns out that he has set up a nice big easy chair with a little end table. He must have rented a U-Haul to do this, because he's got to get the chair, he's got to get the end table, and he's got a very nice glass of very fine whiskey. And Hangman, purchases his little selfie stick, he puts it in tripod mode or whatever. And of course he frames it up perfectly, because every wrestler is a perfect videographer when they need to be. So Hangman sets this up, He's got, himself in his chair in the foreground facing the camera, and behind him is Swerve's house. And, he sits there, he crosses his legs, he menaces at Swerve for a while, and then he reached down and he strikes the world's most comedically oversized match. Thing is like 1.5 feet long, and of course it makes a perfect flame on the first try because that's what happens in TV shows. And he strikes the match, and he says one last thing, and then he tosses it onto the trail of gasoline, and then Swerve's house goes up in flames, and there's this beautiful fucking shot of Hangman in his easy chair just sipping his whiskey, basking, not even looking, just closing his eyes and feeling the heat of the fire. It's a wonderful shot. And then, after all of this flame happened, there's an E in the word. Great. So after all of this flame happened, Hangman and Swerve were supposed to have a match. And it was a cage match because, and it was also a lights out match, which is a fancy wrestling term that basically means the promotion's not going to be held responsible for whatever these two assholes do to each other, which is a way of signaling to the fans that it's going to be super intense and violent and whatever. And then, would you believe it, it was super intense and violent or whatever. Like, there were 3 really heated blood feud street fight type matches on this show, and they were all excellent, and they were all completely different. Like, MJF and Daniel Garcia have had a super intense feud over a course of months that involved MJF literally trying to end Garcia's career by giving him a pile driver off the second rope. That was the opening match. MJF and Daniel Garcia had a super intense, violent match that was centered around, like, wrestling moves and high-impact wrestling moves to the neck and whatever. Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale are, classic wrestling storyline of former friends, and then the new manager comes in, and the new manager says that, the bigger, taller friend can be a big star or whatever, and poisons her against the other lesser friend in the manager's eyes. So now the evil manager has turned one of the friends heel, and now the friends will fight. And they had a super intense, violent fight that was built around let's hit each other with stuff and throw each other off of things and fight all over the place, right? Completely different from the MJF Daniel Garcia match, and also had to follow one of the most technically excellent wrestling matches you will ever see between Will Ospreay and Pac. It was in what could have been an absolute death spot, because Will Ospreay and Pac had the fucking match of the year, and then out comes the second most important women's match on the show? Nope. Lee Fireheart says that it could be peony. It could have been. It's not. But hey, we know where the E goes now. Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale are supposed to have a street fight. And it could have been in a death spot. The crowd was like super stoked. They were coming down from a fantastic wrestling match. And Statlander and Nightingale were like, what if we just run really fast and smash into each other a bunch of times and generally hope shit works out okay? So they just ran really fast and smashed into each other in a bunch of interesting and creative ways, generally hoped that everything would work out okay. And as far as I can tell, everything worked out okay. Like, the match was excellent, and it's been a few days, and nobody said they got hurt, so everything worked out okay, and it was fucking excellent. It was one of the best matches you're ever gonna see, following one of the best matches you're ever gonna see. What I'm saying is that All Out was very, very good. I haven't even mentioned the part where somebody tried to kill the world champion by putting a bag over his head. There was a part where somebody tried to kill the world champion by putting a bag over his head. And that somebody was the world champion's best friend, John. The world champion's best friend, John, has come back from a recent hiatus, and he has been very nebulously angry about stuff. So there was a whole thing, and some bullshit happened, and what happened was the world champion's best friend, John, and a few of the world champion's buddies were all in the ring, and it turned out that roughly half of the world champion's buddies And the world champion's best friend, John, had just been conspiring to betray the world champion and beat the shit out of him. So they betrayed the world champion, beat the shit out of him, and then the world champion's best friend, John, grabbed a plastic bag, put it over his head, and held it there until the world champion stopped breathing. It's a thing that happens. I think that's the first time I've seen that particular thing done in pro wrestling. It could be. I think that, yeah, that's the first time I've seen that particular thing done. I'm sure it's not the first time it's been done. Listen, I like to talk about pro wrestling a lot. It does not mean I have an encyclopedic knowledge of the matter or anything. There's a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, All Out. A very good fucking professional wrestling show. It was very, very, very fucking good. And then I made myself a tidy little profit betting on football over the weekend, which is great, because I can fritter away my profits by betting on baseball during the week. This is how they get you, by you being stupid. Anyway. So there's a T and a B, and the second letter is E. Interesting. It's not going to be Tembo, because, well, there's no M and no O, and Tembo's not a word. These are all very good reasons. It could be debit. It could absolutely be debit. Could also be debut if it's not debit. But hey, it was debit. I did a good debit thing. All right, we got the Wordle in 4. Away goes the "Don't tell me what the Wordle is" text. Whoosh. Connections. Let us draw some of them. So, all right, Coach, Full House, Community. These are all TV shows. Blossom is also the name of a TV show. But I feel like this could be... Now hold on here, because Full House and Straight are also poker hands. So, and so's a flush. So... But I don't think there are any other poker hands here. There's a flush, Full House, a straight. That's it. Okay. So yeah, Coach, Full House, Blossom, and Community are TV shows. Oh, Blossom was... I thought for some reason I thought Blossom was one of those teen drama things in the vein of like Felicity and Dawson's Creek and One Tree Hill and things that I'm sure exist today that I can't think of. Although apparently One Tree Hill is also a thing that exists today, or is coming back or being redone or something. Anyway. So, we need more connections. So if you have a platter, a sampler, a tasting, or a flight, these are all like, big thing, things where you put out just a tiny little bit of something and try a little bit of this, try a little bit of that, try a little bit of this, is that sort of thing. I don't know what the fancy single word for that is. A flavor assortment. Okay. All right. You could have said charcuterie, but a flight is more of a boozy charcuterie, a chardrunkery. It's not a good portmanteau. Goog. We're going to send that one back to the drawing board and possibly just erase and then burn the drawing board. It's possible. So, you can have something be straight, consecutive, and nonstop, meaning you just go right through it. And then one more of those. No, I don't know. Glow, flush, burn, and blush are all things that make... Yeah, these are things that turn you red, right? Like burning if you're on fire, like Swerve's house. Hey, it's a callback. Flush and glow and blush. Yeah, you get red in the face. There you go. Straight, solid, consecutive, nonstop. These are just in a row. Hooray! That was a perfectly cromulent game of connections, and we were good at it. The two of those are probably related, honestly. A lot of the hate towards connections is just, did I personally do well on connections today? That's fine. I understand that. Today's theme for strands is go play outside. So are these like I don't know, playground games? Could be playground games. Could be that we just have to give someone dabs. Oh, I see here. So, we have a quest, which, okay. The very presence of a Q tells me that, we've got to go from the Q to the U, and then from the Q to the, so I'm confused as to how this didn't happen, but anyway. Maybe it's, well, it's not going to be request or solo. Anyway, we'll get there. I'm confident that we'll get there at some point. All right, let's see here. I see roll and then rolls. Doot. And you can go with a soul, or you can be made whole, which itself can be plural. I have a question regarding your sneakers. What are those? Okay. So, I see cent as in a penny. That's not going to help with much, but I do see it. There's a dino as in dinosaur. You can have a beam of light or some beads on your thingy. Leah sees hologram, which might actually be a helpful word. It gives me a chance to make more wrestling jokes, but hologram's fine and good. They should do something with him. There, that's a wrestling reference. Boop. There's hologram. And for that matter, just gram and hollow. Those are both. Oh, you're not going to call hollow a word? How dare you? What are you thinking? Oh, let's see here. Grain is green and gram. What? Oh, I already found gram, apparently. There is another M down there. So, well, this is a South Park character, but is it grandma? Is that what you're trying to get me to do here? Really? Okay. Interesting. Well, I see ammo. That's terrifying for a go play outside category, although fitting for the United States. Let's see here. I see. Is this a word? Yes, it is. I see lest. Lest is a word. I have no freaking clue what we're looking at here in terms of actually being. Good morning, Sam. I broke the game today, so I see a dimmer switch. That'll okay. It's not gonna help much, but all right. Doot. We're perilously close to just saying fuck it and hint through the board. So, that's not great. If anyone has any, if anyone's, try hologram with the other M. Oh, well, I already did that one. And, nope, okay. We did try quest. We got that. I already got what are those? And again, wait, I see cargo. Is that like shorts? No? Okay, fine. Well, okay. Here's shore. That's an outside thing. No? Okay. Fine. There are only 6 words, so they're probably large. Sam has a point. C-O-C-O, but there's no... Well, I see an A to make it Coco, but it's not going to help any. And no, we can't get like coconut or anything. Oh, wait. I think I found one. There's cornhole, which is an outdoor game. Okay. One down. Fucking hell. Is it like backyard games or no? BA. It's not even any. Okay, hold on. GAMES games. This is the second half of the Spangram. Lawn games. There's your freaking Spangram. Christ. Okay, now we're starting to see things come together because this is bocce ball. And this is badminton. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. And this is like horseshoes, right? HORSESHOES. And this is croquet. Okay. All right. Fine. Okay, that's like... That's a good example of a thing that happens in strands sometimes, where you can start using the shape of the puzzle and pull words out of what had previously looked like just a fucking jumble of letters. Like that was just a fucking jumble of letters until I accidentally found cornhole. And then once we had cornhole, it was like, okay, we're definitely looking for something like lawn games. Oh, hey, there's lawn games. And the rest came together. Sometimes you can you just get the theme and you know what words you're looking for, and other times it's like pulling teeth. That one, it was like pulling teeth. For today's immaculate grid, we need Dodgers, A's, Rockies, Astros, dudes what had 40 or more wins above replacement in their career, and dudes what had a 10 pitching win season. Oh, the only question is, has Mookie Betts had a 40 win career? Maybe? I mean, 40 wins is a lot of wins. Mookie Betts is really good and has been really good for a long time. I bet you Mookie Betts fits this bottom middle square. That having been said, Pedro Martinez also fits this bottom Mookie square. No, absolutely not, even though it is the title of the episode. But... Okay, so Mookie Betts is in, if he retired today, he might be a Hall of Famer territory. Good. What's incredible is Mookie Betts is not going to retire today. Instead, he's going to be roughly this good for another 3 to 7 years. And then, in 3 to 7 years, he's going to stop being roughly this good and be less good. And then in 5 to 10 years, he's going to retire. And when he retires, he will be a no doubt inner circle Hall of Famer. You know, the kind of guy you'd dream of having on your baseball team forever. The kind of guy that if you drafted and developed him and brought him up through your minor league system, you would claim as the greatest player development success in the history of your team. Yeah, that guy. Anyway. The only not steroid-suspected player who is not in the Hall of Fame with more wins above replacement than Mookie Betts right now is Lou Whitaker. I find that hard to believe, but... Listen, buddy, if you want to tell me that Mookie Betts is a no-doubt sure-thing Hall of Famer right the fuck now, it only makes it easier for me to dunk on the Red Sox. High Altitude Buns' husband says that I have a wonderful voice, which is very kind of him. Thank you. High Altitude Buns' husband, incidentally, once gave me a coffee table. So, you know, he's a very generous and kind person. High Altitude Buns also gave me the coffee table. They made the decision together. I think I ran into the husband on the occasion that resulted in me getting the coffee table. Anyway, it's an excellent coffee table. But I digress. We need a Los Angeles Dodger who had 10 pitching wins in a season. I don't think they used David Price in the rotation enough for him to get 10 wins in a season. That's true. Those are things. I remember the accordion. I don't remember the Hogwarts castle, which, with the benefit of hindsight, is probably for the best. And a very properly EQ'd mic. That is what we're looking for, because I did just tweak that a couple days ago. Made it hopefully sound better. Anyway, we need a Colorado Rocky who had 40 or more wins above replacement in his career. That'll be Jason Giambi. And an Oakland A who had 40 or more wins in his career would also have been Jason Giambi, but instead we'll go with, ow, I have an itchy hip. That's a problem. Let's see, an Oakland A, listen, we've gone deep cut a little bit here. Let's just take Ricky Henderson. It'll be fine. An Oakland A who had 10 wins as a pitcher is Mark Mulder. Sam has linked us the Baseball Reference career wins above replacement leader. So, yeah, if you look for Mookie Betts is currently right this very moment 105th all time in wins above replacement, which is good. Mookie Betts, 105th best baseball player literally ever. So that's nice. Bang on 70 wins, close to, Scott Rowland, Carlos Beltran. Okay, so right this very moment, Mookie Betts is like an outer ring Hall of Famer. Oh, hey, here's Kenny Lofton. Kenny Lofton should totally be in the Hall of Fame. Fell off on the first ballot because people are stupid. Ow. Scratchy. Anyway. A Colorado Rocky who had 10 or more wins as a pitcher in a season is Franklin Morales? I know he was in the rotation in the 07 World Series. Did he have 10 wins in that season? Let's be honest with ourselves. I have no fucking clue. So instead, I'm just going to take a little bit of a layup and go with Ubaldo Jimenez. Name a good Rockies pitcher of the last 25 years. You're probably going to name Ubaldo Jimenez. And a Dodger who had 10 or more pitching wins is not Mark Burley. We want Walker Buehler. And then, now we must name some Houston Astros. In 2007, Franklin Morales started 8 games. Well, somehow one of them was also in the World Series, so are you suggesting to me, maybe, Sam, that the 2007 Boston Red Sox did not face the greatest possible competition en route to their World Series win? That's conceivable. Anyway, let us name some Houston Astros. A Houston Astro who was also Lance Berkman was an Astro. He's neither a Rocky nor an A nor a Dodger. Jeff Bagwell doesn't fit. Craig Biggio doesn't fit. Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa don't fit. Manny Machado was a Dodger, but not an Astro. Roger Clemens was an Astro. He doesn't fit. Nolan Ryan was an Astro. He doesn't fit. Andy Pettitte doesn't fit. Brad Lidge doesn't fit. Was Roy Oswalt a Rocky? Am I making that up? I am making that up. One of these days I'm going to remember without Sam having to remind me that Zach Greinke was an Astro. Today is not that day, but Sam did just remind me that Zach Greinke was an Astro. Why on earth is Zach Greinke's Baseball Reference photo wearing a Diamondbacks hat? He was a Royal last season, so it's not his most recent photo. Unless I missed something, the Diamondbacks didn't pick him up this year. Anyway, Jamie Moyer was a Rocky, but I don't think he was an Astro. Mike Hampton was a Rocky. Was he an Astro? Actually, that feels right. That feels correct. Mike Hampton was an Astro, wasn't he? Mike Hampton? Mike Hampton. Okay. I think Octavio Dotel might have fit Rocky's Astros. And if he fits Rocky's Astros, that means he fits A's Astros, because I'm very confident he was an A. But as I've talked my way through this, I'm now less confident that he was an Astro. So, that doesn't help. Let's see here. Oh, Brent Rooker is an A, but not an Astro. Dennis Eckersley was an A, but not an Astro. Billy Koch was an A, but not an Astro. Billy Wagner was an Astro, but not an A. Dude who was on the Red Sox. How sure am I that Billy Wagner was not on the A's? Reasonably, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he wasn't. A couple former Red Sox guys. Awesome, amazing, tremendous. Jed Lowry was an A, but not an Astro. Coco Crisp was an A, but I'm pretty sure he didn't play for the Astros. Son of a bitch. Let's see here. Jose Canseco was an A, but not an Astro. Mark McGuire was an A, but not an Astro. Barry Zito, Tim Hudson, Miguel Tejada. Was Miguel Tejada an Astro? No. No, he was an Oriole. Possibly among other things. Josh Donaldson was an A, but not an Astro. Eric Chavez was an A. Was he an Astro? I don't think so. Jeremy Giambi was an A, but not an Astro. Scott Hatteberg was an A, but not an Astro. That I can remember, at least. Son of a fucking grumble wine. I have named 3 dudes who fit. Holy shit. I'm so bad at game. How have I named 3 dudes that fit? Fuck. It's gotta be Dotel. It's gotta be Dotel. It's probably not actually Dotel. It was Octavio Dotel. It's an immaculate grid. Good lord. We take those. Oh, hey, he's wearing an Astros hat in his photo. Jed Lowry was an Astro? I do not remember Jed Lowry or Miguel Tejada being Houston Astros. I will take your word for it. But okay. Hey, listen. This is an immaculate grid. Folks, I'm not entirely sure what the stream schedule looks like this week. I'm pretty sure I have an all-day in-person job Thursday, which means nothing on Thursday, and I know I have one on Friday, so possibly nothing on Friday. We're kind of very close to the end of Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, so I might just say let's wrap that up tomorrow in place of Baldur's Gate 3. It's possible. We'll have ourselves a think. I will look over the schedule. Also, next week is fucked. Y'all, next week is fucked. I have 4 jobs in person next week. Next week is bad. But we'll deal with next week when we deal with next week. For now, thank y'all so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
I'm an asshole. I'm sorry, Sam.
I'm sorry? I'm quite certain I heard Wells. Phineas Wells.
Did you now? That's not a very nice thing to say about someone!
But you... It's always like this with you tramp freighter captains. Well, once you've tired of your jokes, you know where to find me.